Have you ever wondered if coax cable connecting your radio to your antenna really matters? After all, it's just a piece of wire, right? Actually, the cable you choose can have a huge impact on your station's performance, and choosing the wrong connector or the wrong coax can cost your signal before it ever reaches your antenna. That's today on Ham Radio for Beginners, right here on Ham Shack TV. Roll that opening footage. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ham Shack TV. I'm your host, Josh AA4WX, and another episode of Ham Radio for Beginners. In our last episode, we talked about Q codes and how they help radio operators communicate more efficiently. Today, we're going to talk about getting that signal from your radio to your antenna by talking about something every ham uses: coaxial cable. Before we get into it, let's talk about Gigaparts. Guys, I love Gigaparts. The great partner of Ham Shack TV, been a great supporter of what we're doing here. And you know what? One of the things I think about when I think of Gigaparts is Messi and Poloni coax. Gigaparts has it exclusively. They have Messi and Poloni coax, some of the best coax you can buy available to you. Go check it out, gigaparts.com. You can shop in your socks online at gigaparts.com. Use coupon code HamShackTV. You'll get double rewards points, but that's not enough. If you get Gigaparts Rewards Plus, you get 4 times rewards points. And I'll give you your first month of Gigaparts Rewards Plus half off. That's Gigaparts Rewards Plus. And if you use coupon code HamShackTV50, you're going to get half off that first month of Rewards Plus. Go check out Messi and Poloni coax. You're not going to regret it. We appreciate Gigaparts' support of Ham Shack TV. Now, coaxial cable and connectors are they're really one of the most important parts of your setup. And I've said that about every element. They're all equally important, but if you don't have good coax, you're not going to get out to the antenna well. And it also can it can hurt your SWR too, which we talked about SWR a couple of days ago in this series. But the easiest way to think about coax is to imagine a water hose. Your radio is the water pump. Your antenna is the sprinkler. The coax is the hose carrying everything between them. If the hose is old, damaged, too small, or way too long, some of the water never makes it to the sprinkler. The same goes when we're talking about RF. You remember this analogy if you watched the SWR episode. Good coax helps deliver as much of your signal as possible to the antenna. Poor coax wastes some of that energy as heat. Now, here's something every ham should know. Not all coax is created equally. That's why I recommend Messi and Poloni coax. Let's look at a few of the most common types of coax. RG58 has been around for decades. It is inexpensive and flexible, but it has fairly high signal loss, especially on VHF and UHF. It's fine for short runs, but it's not usually the best choice if your antenna is a long distance away. Next up is RG8X. This has become one of the most popular choices for amateur radio. It's still flexible, handles more power than RG58, and has lower signal loss. For many home stations and portable setups, it's an excellent balance between performance and cost. Then there's LMR 400. This is much thicker, heavier, and more expensive, but it has significantly lower signal loss, making it a great choice for longer cable runs, especially on VHF and UHF. If your antenna is on a tower or at the other end of your property, LMR 400 may be worth the investment. So, does cable length matter? Yes, but maybe not in the way you've heard. There's a common myth that coax has to be cut to certain magical lengths. For most modern amateur radio installations, that's simply not true. What does matter is that the longer cable means more signal loss. The shorter your cable is, you can reasonably keep your coax run, the better. Now, let's talk about connectors. You'll encounter several different types during your ham radio journey. The first and the most common is PL259. It's probably the most common connector in amateur radio devices. You'll find it on many HF radios, VHF, UHF, and antennas and accessories. And I can show you some right here. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera. I can't pull the cable any further, but let me see if I can make myself, embiggen myself, as they say, right here. This is PL259 right here. Most common. I know you've seen it. So that's PL259. Next up is BNC. And while I don't have a BNC connector nearby, basically what it is a smaller connector that has a one small quarter turn screw on top. You can see that actually in the graphic that's on your screen, the second one, and that's a very accurate representation of what BNC looks like. So you see that little swath in the edge of it, right there in the center of it. That is that one quarter turn screw that I was talking about. So you just tighten that on like that. BNC connectors are popular because they connect and disconnect easily. You'll often see them on handheld antennas, test equipment, and portable gear. Then there's SMA connector. If you have ever owned a handheld radio, you've probably seen one. As a matter of fact, in the bottom of the graphic here, you see the SMA connector in the middle. That's it right there. A little small screw on. As a matter of fact, my Nano VNA. Let's see here. I have my Nano VNA. Let me pull this out here so you can see this a little closer. This is an SMA connector, a little tiny thing. So to give you a size comparison, there you go. This is a quarter. This is an SMA connector. So there you go. That's that. And then you commonly see those on handheld radios, things like that. These connectors are compact and require a little more care. Often over tightening them can cause damage, real damage. And finally, there's the end connector. And let me pull the graphic back up because I know I don't have any end connectors. It looks kind of similar to a PL259, but the center part is it's hollow in the middle of it. And I messed up my script here. So bear with me just a second while I scroll down to where I am here. Sorry about that. Oops. And anyway, end connectors are popular for VHF and UHF repeaters, base stations, and microwave applications. I will tell you this: I've never used end connectors. I just haven't. The positive about them is they're larger, they're weather resistant, and have great performances at higher frequencies. So you'll see these a lot on HF. And then finally, you got adapters. Adapters allow you to connect different types of connector types, or they could just connect them. Matter of fact, let me pull out my VNA again here, and I'll show you what some adapters look like. And adapters are simply what it sounds like. They're ways to connect smaller or different types of connectors. So we talked about this. This is my SMA connector, but on the other end, I have a PL259 adapter right there. So then you have things like this. This is what you call a barrel connector right here. So one end one end goes to one PL259, the other goes to the other 259. So that's what those are all about. Adapters are super, super handy, and they're good to have. Is there a right coax? Well, yes, it depends. It depends on your setup. Remember, you want a thicker, more durable cable like LMR 400 for a longer run, especially if you're doing a tower or something like that. Shorter runs, you can go with the cheap stuff. But remember, you pay for what you get for, or you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. The thicker, the better for longer runs. And the further your run is, the more loss you got. So the RG58, that's the thinnest stuff you can get. You're going to have loss if you're doing a long run with it. So anyway, that's going to wrap up this part, or this episode of Ham Radio for Beginners. Sorry for the technical difficulty there. Next week, or next episode, we'll be talking about switching and linear power supplies, the battery options like LiPo 4, power pole connections, all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Send this out to somebody who's thinking about getting into amateur radio. I think you'll enjoy it. Give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out Gigaparts 73 AA4WX WSCB 693.